Genesee County is located between Erie and Monroe counties, Rochester 30 minutes to the east, Buffalo 30 minutes to the west. It is a rural county comprised of 13 towns, 7 villages, and 1 city. Batavia, the county seat. Rich in history, the county has many important landmarks and places of historical significance. It is an agricultural county with many farms, wide open spaces, and populated with the kind of people who work hard and understand the meaning of the word community. In Genesee County, A.H. Marshall was one of those people. Mr. Marshall was chairman of the board of Griswold & McQueen, publishers of the Daily News. He was vice president and director of the Genesee Trust Company and a director of the Genesee County Savings and Loan Association. His family name will always be associated with Marshall's newsstand. Generations of Batavians made their daily pilgrimage to Marshall's newsstand to get the paper, a magazine, and to catch up on local news. It was a fixture on Jackson Street. Passing in 1964, A.H. Marshall left his mark on the community, but the story doesn't end there. Genesee County would soon learn that his daughter Roxanne was more than capable of demonstrating how strongly she felt about helping the community in which she grew up.
I met Roxanne Marshall when I was giving a talk at a high school here in the Rochester area. She was a teacher, I believe, of audio-visual studies. I was talking on estate planning generally, and she came up and saw me after the meeting and said that she needed some assistance with estate planning. I told her I'd be glad to assist her. We met in my office a number of weeks later. She had a number of questions about estate administration and what to do, and was standing to inherit a good deal of money.
She had decided that the world was not supportive of people who wanted to stay in their homes and live out their lives as older people. She had cared for her own mother. So she had a keen sense of what it meant to be trapped in a house and without the kinds of supports that you need for your daily life.
It became obvious to me that what she was looking for really was to make a gift through her will to an umbrella organization that had a good deal of flexibility.
Community foundations offer 2 kinds of critical stewardship. They offer stewardship for the ideas, the visions, the hopes, the expectations of the donor. We carry those out immaculately over time. But we also take care of their money. And in fact, in some respects, we are a financial institution, managing millions of dollars in charitable funds entrusted to us over time. We take that very seriously.
Jennifer and others at the Rochester Area Community Foundation sat down with her a number of times and helped define and refine what it is she really hoped to accomplish.
For her, it was about quality of life. And so it gave us an opportunity to think about the needs of aging, what's being addressed through public funding, and what can't be addressed through public funding.
So Roxanne imagined a world in which some of those services would come to your door, or that the world would help you get to the things that you needed to get to, the grocery store, the doctor, the senior center, or Niagara Falls.
She provided us with a memo that included suggestions for how we might use it.
To provide housekeeper chore and homemaker personal
1.
assistance. Find a part-time handyman to make small repairs, organize and transport for special outings, monthly or several times a year,
3.
such as establish lending library, talking books, video cassettes to be supplied
10.
with cassette
Arrange
player
for
informal social get-together, such as bridge games, crafts, October
etc.
14th, 1991. Signed, Roxanne Marshall.
She didn't want to control it. She wanted to turn it over, but within her guidelines. And I think that's really how it came to being. It was a process of refinement over several months, and then finally her saying, okay, I'm happy with it. Now I know the RACF is going to implement what my wishes are, because I think that they're well enough known now.
we take every possible avenue to make sure that the donor's interests are carried out with fidelity, with integrity, and with intelligence.
My memory goes back to when the Marshall Fund was first proposed to the county legislature. They came to us with the news that Roxy had made an accommodation of some sort through the foundation. Sort of new to us. We weren't so sure what it meant, what the good and the bad would be for it. And so the presentation was good. It was up to us to use the funds according to what the population that it was targeted on, and that was the senior population in Genesee County, what they would need and what was not provided for them and what the county could not afford or was not within their preview. And so we really could hardly believe the good fortune of the folks that were to receive its benefit.
I served on the Genesee County Legislature, and when the Marshall Fund was founded, one of the legislators recommended me as on the board of directors, to be on the board. And having worked with people most of my life, I accepted. And I saw a future and a need for the Marshall Fund.
It was a really good fit for Genesee County because we're very good at collaborating. We try very hard to work with other levels of government, with volunteers, and the absolute amazing case of success would be the Office for the Aging.
Good morning, Mary Connects, Office for the Aging. How can I direct your call?
As the director of the Office for the Aging, you spend a lot of time doing needs assessment and taking a look at what the gaps in services are and planning for services. And so it was really evident that there were many ways that we could serve seniors in our county.
It seemed to work a little bit at a time and expanded.
And food stamps? Do you get food stamps?
No.
No.
Lifespan's an aging service provider, and we've been providing services since 1971. And Lifespan already provided some services in Genesee County. So we were a natural. When the planning committee came, identified the needs of financial management for the older adults in Genesee County, and they contacted us and asked us to submit a proposal about financial management.
Many cannot afford the kind of financial advice that would be nice, but now they are able to get it.
The transportation program made a huge difference for people here in Genesee County because they not only can have someone come and pick them up at the doorstep, they actually have a human being that's going in, giving them hands-on assistance and that personal touch that people need to be able to get them where they need to go.
Prior to the Marshall Fund, we had very limited resources to provide transportation services, and pretty much we were contracting with the Public Transportation Service to provide some limited services for older adults. But after the Marshall Fund, that totally changed around. With assisted transportation services being available through the Marshall Fund and also the social transportation services, we are well equipped in our county to not only transport those who can use public transportation, but for those that need more help and assistance getting in and out of their homes, and those little things that really customize those services to add good quality of life.
Because Roxanne was a librarian, she was very partial to library services and wanted to make sure that people who are unable to travel to a library would be able to receive materials in their home. We would deliver to their home, and they would be able to also request particular items that we would look for.
I've been a volunteer with the SAGE program since about September, and I've had one patron that I once a week take books, magazines, videos to, and she's a doll, and she really depends on this program. She's an amazing lady. Hi, Kathy. I'm going to get these out for Nancy.
Okay.
I think I've got some good selections this time. We'll see how that goes with her.
Come in.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. Well, I've got our new set of books. Good.
The seniors benefit by not only having books and DVDs or whatever is being delivered to them to help them get through the week, give them a little more quality of life, but they have a visitor who's coming in once a week, saying hi, who's interested in this person, and they develop a friendship.
We enjoy watching an hour-long cooking show, discuss the books she read last time, discuss the books she's going to read this time, talk about family, talk about friends, talk about activities. It's a wonderful time for both of us. We both get a lot out of it.
Love you. Love you too.
Roxanne was a librarian in Rochester, so I've always felt that this program especially would be very near and dear to her heart. And I think when I listen to the seniors who are overjoyed with books coming into their libraries and their residences, or the seniors just coming into their individual homes, I think that she's somewhere smiling and very happy that the program is going the way that she planned.
The Handyman Program is a program where people can call the Office for the Aging and they know that it's someone that they can trust. It's a very frightening time for people to contact someone and not know if it's someone that's trustworthy. Having that collaboration with the Office for the Aging in Pastone, they know that it's someone that's trustworthy entering their home.
Yeah. But this will straighten out as soon as it gets warm.
Oh, I understand. A 3.
A lot of times when people get older, they tend to get forgotten. And the nice thing about the Muriel Marshall Fund is to help them know that they're not forgotten and that they do have a purpose in our community.
Good.
Senior citizens, sometimes when they're left alone, are lonely. And that visitation, maybe that 1 or 2 hours a week, helps so many people and keeps them in this world.
There's no cure for that distressing loneliness like an engrossing activity.
My feeling is that she's made the whole area a better community in which to live, a better community in which to live, grow, and die, and not have to leave the community, not have to go to a nursing home so quickly, etc. I think she would be very happy with the amount of good.
When we tell this story, we talk about how Roxanne, this one philanthropist, transformed aging services in Genesee County.
Doesn't matter whether you've got any money or not. It matters whether you have caring for others. And I think that's the Marshall Fund's greatest contribution.
Roxanne Marshall, I feel, was a real visionary in looking at the fact that as people are able to live longer, their lives should continue to be fulfilling. And she was able to, it was just an incredible gesture to be able to give this funding to Genesee County, which is her home, and give so many people pleasure in their later years.
One of our staff used to say that she loved her job because we get to work with good people who do good things. There is never a community foundation without the community donors who want to do something to make a better world.
I think people oftentimes think that they singularly, whatever they do, won't make a difference, or that if they do try to do something, it may be good now, but down the road, will it really matter? And I think this is proof positive that one person can make a difference.
I don't think Roxy had any idea of what a wonderful thing it would grow into. Maybe she did. She was pretty smart because she certainly got a good foundation. But what it has turned out to do for our county, I don't think she knew what a wonderful thing it would be.
What we've learned from the Marshall Fund and what we've seen before is one person can make a difference, and certainly Roxanne Marshall did. She made a difference by changing aging in Genesee County, unlike I think we've ever seen before, at least in this part of the state. And I hope we see it again. And I hope the takeaway for people is that one person can make this difference, and aging in Genesee County is different than aging anyplace else. We're very lucky.